third place game we were playing. We were down 9 in the fourth quarter. We were playing 4 10-minute quarters. It was cool. That was kind of cool. But we were down 9 going into the fourth. Made it a game. Came all the way back and then took the lead on some free throws with 20 seconds left. Right, made the first, missed the second, and
I know this is about to be hilarious.
We get the offensive rebound and he misses the layup. I was right there. It was my kid that was balling too all week. Like he was hooping that game, and it was just one like missed point blank put back would have put us up 3. They come down, and and you just have that feeling in your stomach like, oh, the comeback's too good to be true right now. Happened. Come down, this nice little lefty found some space and hit a tough fadeaway. Yeah, I was like, oh. Inbound the ball, turnover. I was like, shit, it's over. We had a chance, but we turned it over at the end on the sideline. So, I mean, and I was out of timeouts too. You only get 2 timeouts, so I couldn't call it. But
I think you're pausing.
Oh, youth basketball.
Yeah, man, it's we had a game yesterday. And it's funny you say that because, like, that's what I was yelling all game long because, like, I'll say this, as coaches, we haven't been doing a good job of calling fouls in practice. Like, I think we gotta lock that in a little bit just so guys don't get bad habits. But all game long, I felt like I was just saying, don't foul, show hands, like the entire possession.
I have this kid named Richie on the squad. I'm like, Richie, hand up, hands out.
Yeah.
Same way. It's so funny how you do it. Don't. Oh, and you can tell when a foul's coming. You start yelling, no hands, whip.
Kids will get that look in their eye that's like, nothing is going to keep me from this ball right now, and it always ends up in a foul. I feel
you can see it coming. Like, yep. All right. Well, you're about to get a dumb one. And they always look around like, what'd I do? You're like, well, you went through the kid.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I'm having a good time coaching this high school team, man. It's been good.
You picked up a tech yet?
Well, we've only had one game.
Don't do it in season.
No, I know. That's the thing. Like, if I'm going to get a tech...
Summer ball.
And I think we've talked about this maybe. Like, if I'm going to get a tech, it's going to be for a valid reason. Like, I'm not just going to be outlandish out there. Like, if it's bad enough, I'll get teed up just to show my guys that I'm going to go to battle for them a little bit. But... like the time I want to save my tech for is like you said, summer camp when there's no repercussions. Like I can't get in trouble for it.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Don't, because you're gonna have to go to like come do some class for something like.
Right.
Bubba got teed up one
anger
time.
management or something.
He had to do some stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus, man. That's crazy. Just
like I ain't angry. The ref just was on my nerves, man.
It's not anger issues, bro. I promise. Oh man.
Let's get rolling, dude. Let's welcome in the people for episode
36.
36.
Yeah.
Episode 36. We are back after a little hiatus of about a week and a half ish. Wanted to continue our RMAC series and had someone lined up, but this is a busy time of year and he was unable to join us this evening, and that's okay. But we'll be excited to link up. Yeah, absolutely. Got to go over the scouting report.
Man.
But we're just gonna I just want to talk to you about some stuff. I told you, Bush, already. Like, there's been a lot happening in the RMAC, but also like NBA stuff. There's, D1 college hoops going on. There's a lot to talk about, and I want to get your take on some of this stuff.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This one was kind of a blessing in disguise because I was ready to. I wanted to talk some pro hoops too. Some NBA hoops. Get a little break. Just get it back to me and you.
Yeah, back to the basics.
What'd you have? So, I mean, you're in charge. Take the lead.
Oh, my first question um, is Villanova UNC's daddy now? Is that a thing?
Oh my god, dude! Everyone is UNC's daddy because everyone plays amazing against them.
No, but like in all seriousness, I feel like Villanova has got UNC's number lately. They are
Yeah.
just kind of
Well, yeah.
owning them.
That game was unreal, dude. 3 guys from North Carolina fouled out, and nobody from Villanova fouled out.
Yeah,
I know
I
you
saw
saw that
that.
tweet. I needed
Yeah, I
a
did.
formal investigation on that one. That's crazy,
Caught.
dude.
I need an investigation
That's
immediately.
crazy.
That reminds me of there was I think it was a different D1 game. There was like it was a foul discrepancy of like 40 to 15 or something like that. I
Uh-huh.
can't remember. I saw a tweet of
That's
that too,
wild.
but oh, I can't remember what it was. But that kind of reminds me of that.
No, dude, UNC standard UNC fashion dominate a whole game and then late game just folded. But key guys fouled out though. Harrison Ingram fouled out, and he's like he's their key player. He's their best player, best big wing player. He reminds me of Harrison Barnes in college.
Yeah.
But no, I think right now, yeah, Villanova has our number. They have a nice big guy. Did you watch that game?
I didn't, but I've heard of
That
him.
Dixon
I've heard
dude
people
is
talking about
filthy.
him. Yeah.
A little lefty too, beautiful touch, looking like Big G
Oh, he's
out
lefty.
there.
Big G.
Wow.
Hey, that's the second. That's the second.
Dude,
Big
that's
G
the nicest.
mention.
Big G is hands down one of the nicest basketball players I've ever played against. Because I was always the one that had.
Touch.
I was always the one that had to guard him, and
oh, I know you were.
You couldn't stop him. Like you could try, but it was like
I
good
was
luck.
so salty when they moved away, man, because that was just getting to the point where I was starting to play a lot of varsity, and I had played with him like on freshman and sophomore and some JV and stuff.
If he doesn't,
but
move,
he let. Oh, dude. I'm not saying we win a state championship, but we give Gillette a better run for their money. My junior year, I'll tell you that.
3 years in a row, bro. If he's just there for those 3 years, like he's making a difference for you guys inside. Cody Anderson would have had to guard him, and then our senior year, he would have cooked. His senior year, him, Abel, Tommy, no, Tyler, those guys, like,
yeah,
they would have been good.
Shout out Big G, man, wherever you are. I hope you're doing well. Much love to Big G.
Secondly, I saw your tweet today. How wild was it that Xavier made Barstool?
Dude, I love it because the funniest thing, if you know Xavier Webb, he's from Riverton. We played against him in high school as well. I also played with him for a year at Sheridan. But that is an ultimate Xavier Webb outfit right there. Like 1000%. When I saw that picture of him, I was like, I can totally see him rocking this with pride, and I loved it.
With the mullet too, bro.
That was the part that got me, bro. That was the part that really threw me. He really mulleted it out.
That's crazy to me. The mullet is the craziest part to me. That's so funny.
He's got the nice curly, like
lush,
flowy locks though, so it works for him, man. And it was awesome that Barstool got a hold of that and made a little post about it. That was
king
hilarious.
Of college basketball. There's a new king.
Well, the funny part is he in the pick, he's owning it, man. Like he's standing there with authority, commanding the troops, bro. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Have you watched a lot of college basketball yet lately, like D1?
I wouldn't say a lot. I've watched, man, I can't even remember some of these games I've watched. Let me look at these teams. I watched a little bit of the Texas A&M game against, who did they just play? It was like yesterday or it was the day before. But long story short is I've watched a little bit. Anyone in specific you're wondering about?
Have you seen any Kansas games?
I haven't. I've heard they're looking good though.
I'm not buying the total hype yet, bro.
Really,
Marquette to me is a Final
Marquette.
Four team.
Yes.
They're a Final Four team. They have a big guy that can play perimeter and go inside with handles too. Like he made Hunter Dickinson his son.
Oh, I
And
wish
it
I would
was
have seen that.
awesome.
Man.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I hate that guy. God.
Where is he now again? He's at Michigan? Or no, he was at Michigan.
Kansas.
He's at Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas plays UConn tomorrow. That's going to be a good game. That's 3 versus 5.
UConn's the one that, man, I think they're going to be right back in the mix this year again because, man, I think Hurley there, he's got him rolling. The one I want to ask you about is Purdue. Is this a legit Purdue team that you think can go deep, or is it one of those teams where you think they're going to fizzle out, like have a great
No, I think they're
season
good. I think
out?
that to me the Maui Invitational says a lot in my opinion. And bro, this game they're playing a college game with the freaking strobe lights on right now.
Yeah.
Where? The Colorado State game. They just turned them off, like the timeout lights. Jesus, man. But
that's awesome.
I'm a firm believer in the Maui Invitational because I think that's a pretty good indicator on neutral court, and like NCAA tournament vibe feel. And Purdue looked good, especially against Marquette. Like Marquette came back and made it a 3-point game, but Purdue just looks solid. Really solid, and I think they can do it because Matt Painter has built a little program over there. So I don't know. I kind of hope they can, honestly. Even though I think sometimes Zach Edey's slightly overrated. I think I want to see them get there. I just want to see a good Final Four.
I do too. I think I watched, what game of theirs did I watch? I want to say it was the Purdue Gonzaga game. Or no. But I agree with you. I can't remember which one it was, but I think they do have a legit team. The thing that I'm seeing with them is they're keeping pace scoring wise. Like that was kind of my big question with them and I think maybe we talked about it on a real early episode of Kitchen Hook, is that slow pace. It's kind of like Wyoming used to play with like Larry Nance. It's like if you get behind or you're playing catch up, when you play that style all year long, it's really tough to come back in those games. And I feel like that bites them in the tournament all the time.
That's why I think they're at their best when Carson Edwards was there that year. They almost made the Final Four. He was filthy, dude. I was getting so pumped. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to watch this guy play in the Final Four because I was going that year.
Yeah.
And then Buddy hit the buzzer beater from Virginia, and they ended up losing. Oh, it was so bad.
That was a great NCAA tournament, though. I remember.
My Final Four this year, this is what I want to see: Arizona, Purdue. Who's that? Just thinking of North Carolina. No, it wasn't North Carolina. Oh no, who was it?
You said Arizona. Marquette a second ago.
Yeah, I guess Marquette would be nice too. Marquette, North Carolina, Purdue, and now I'm having who I don't even know, man. I just
you were gonna say Duke, weren't you?
No, I don't want to see. I do not want to see Duke.
So while we mention that, what's your legit thought on Duke? What do you think of their team?
They're gonna have to play through their big guys, I think. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold yet. I don't know if I'm sold on the guard play because that's very important.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing I've noticed is I remember with Duke teams in recent memory, they've always had a big monster star, like Zion or, You can go
Brandon
down the
Ingram,
list.
Jason Tatum, those
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. That are like clearly the most talented or the best player on the floor when they step on the floor.
Uh-huh.
Not saying Duke isn't talented. Obviously they are, but they don't have. It doesn't seem like they have that bona fide bona fide star, I should say, for this team, which may be a
NIL.
good thing, to be honest with you.
NIL changed that. NIL
Dude,
changed
that's
that in my
honestly
opinion.
a
I
great
think
observation.
NIL made college basketball more competitive all around because now players don't have to go to Kentucky to shine. They can go to this other school and get paid and hoop, like
You think it balanced the
I
power a
think
little
it did.
bit?
I think it did. Yeah, everyone has
Dude, I honestly
boosters.
can't
Everyone
disagree
has
with you.
boosters. And I mean it's different for football. Football is the wild, wild west, in my opinion. I mean, you heard the Nebraska coach. Quarterbacks are going for
Yeah.
$1 to $2 million in the transfer portal. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. It's not to me. It's not totally like that college basketball wise. But I think NIL balanced out the playing field a little bit.
I think it balanced the playing field to kind of more destination schools, if you want to say. So, like, these schools like Arizona or these places that are super marketable, maybe outside of like athletics and have, you know, industry that's super involved maybe in college athletics. I feel like those types of places might benefit a lot because just there's more resources for NIL maybe at those places.
Oh, 100%. And if you got people that are willing, the right boosters, the right, just people in the town, the college town that are willing to pay the players, they're gonna get talent. Like money talks at the end of the day. I don't care what you say.
So did you decide on your fourth Final Four team?
I gotta pull up the rankings real quick.
Because I like Marquette. I like that you said Marquette. I'm also gonna say UConn. I want to see UConn back there because I think they're gonna be good again. It would also be cool to see a team like, I don't know, like I know Houston made a run a couple years ago or whatever, but seeing them back there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think they'll make it there? I don't know.
No.
But
I only say North Carolina because it just feels like it feels like one of those years again where it's like, all right, I feel confident in a game against a ranked opponent and against a good team that we have the right pieces on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, matchup wise, scoring wise, and the right. I mean, Caleb Love was great, but bro, not the right fit. He shoots so much and bad shots too that just like are shot. He's a shot killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I say North Carolina in the Final Four. Very biased still, but Purdue, Arizona, and Marquette. I don't know. Something felt good about Marquette in that Maui tournament. I was just like, damn, these guys are good.
I'll tell you who I've seen out of the ACC that I've seen a lot of people talking about is Miami as well.
Oh, they got mollywopped last night.
But they have a great backcourt.
Yeah,
I know that their guard play is insane.
Nigel Pack's really good.
Mm-hmm. That was the dude that Seth Greenberg brought up the other day, and I started watching a little bit of the highlights and stuff, and he has game.
Did you see his K-State highlights?
Mm-mm.
Go to his K-State highlights. They're just as good because that's where he came from. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He played at Kansas State.
Great example. Great example. I think a place like Kansas State is going to get hurt by NIL for sure. Like being in Little Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah. Who knows though? I kind of hope that they can just kind of keep something.
I do too because Jerome Tang's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how everything shakes out this year. It seems pretty balanced in my opinion, which I like. I also like
It seems like there's been a lot of big time matchups too. Like there's been,
really good.
Purdue played Gonzaga. Arkansas is playing Duke right now. North Carolina playing Villanova. You know,
Kansas played Marquette. Kansas also played. Who else did they play? Oh, they played another good team too. But I mean, yeah, you're right. There's really good games going on all over the place.
I love to see heavyweights battle, like especially when they're not in the same conference and there's no chance to see each other once conference starts.
Well, I like
it's
the
good
ACC.
to see them bump heads. I like
these challenges. These challenges are good too because it's stuff that we want to see. I want to see Duke go play Arkansas, or Arkansas come play Duke, or like at the beginning of the year when Arizona went to Duke. Like that's the stuff we want to see. I don't want to see freaking Tennessee State University go to Duke and get whopped by 60. Like that doesn't interest me.
Yeah, like true road games, true preseason road games.
Yeah.
That are not preseason, non-conference road games that are like big time matchups. I feel like those are different than like the Maui Invitational,
To me, that's what I would be hunting out as a coach because it's like, okay, if we can handle this and grow right now, we're gonna be just fine late in the season. I don't need to be playing Coppin State, a low major D1 at home to start the season. Like, yeah, maybe to start the season, but dude, get out, bring in games, go to games. Like, I'd be calling all the top schools, like, hey, can we come play?
Yeah, the flip side of that though is but if you like say you are scheduling that tough non-conference schedule and you take maybe a few more L's than you were expecting, that can really set you back ranking wise and like especially like you think about if you're in a conference like the ACC that it's going to be a dogfight every single game. You want like you're gonna have enough of those quality wins that they say are getting you into the tournament. And so like I can see where it's like, shoot, maybe we want to get a couple dubs, maybe not necessarily against way lower competition, but that we feel really good about getting those wins because we know conference is going to be such a dogfight.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too because that does hurt your quadrant schedule. But also when you have those, it does help to have those quadrant 1 losses, even though it's better than nothing because then it shows that you did go play. Goddamn, wrong lid. It shows that you went and played talent and. Like last year, that was a couple years ago, that was a big thing for North Carolina. Like they had all these wins, but they're struggling in the quad 1, quad 2 category because they didn't play any of those games. So it's like, you got to go play those games, in my opinion, too. At least 1 or 2. Come on, Arkansas. Let's go.
Yeah, they're hooping right now. I'm watching that game, too. I forgot what I was going to say. I want to flip to NBA though because I want to ask you about you've seen how good Houston started, right?
Yeah.
What the heck is going on there?
I just think they got Ime Udoka, one of the best coaches in the league. I think you can tell a good NBA coach is a coach that takes average players and makes the team competitive, and you're like, dang, they're okay. It is Houston, but it's not going to be an easy game.
And yeah, like they're 1 game above 500 right now, but they started the season like 8-3, wasn't it? Or something 11-5.
That. Yeah. Let me go.
It says right now.
Oh, they're 11-7.
11-7, yeah.
Or no, 8-7.
Or sorry, 8-7. Yeah, sorry, I was. But
no, I see what they went on a 6-game win streak there.
Beating
good teams though.
Exactly, and for how bad they were last year, it's so interesting to me that they've flipped it around so quickly. And obviously, it's 15 games in, so it's like, they could really go downhill fast. Who knows? But
you got to watch that Sengun play.
Oh, bro. Did you see his compilation of his Dirk fades he was hitting the other day?
He's good. Yeah, he's 21 years old.
Yeah, he's young.
He's going to be good. He's going to be really good.
He reminds me of a combination of Jokic and I just lost it. And Domantas Sabonis.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one.
Where like he's not quite as big and bulky as Jokic, but he's got very similar like game in the things he can do and in impacting all the areas. But he kind of moves like Domantas and is a little bit more mobile and kind of versatile that way.
Yeah,
like Domantas
100%. They're clearing. I was watching the game last night. They're going to him late. They're just getting it to him on the right elbow and clearing out the right side. Just dribble right at Derek Lively. Made him his son. NBA is interesting this year because I'm actually paying attention. I'm trying to pay attention all year, and dude, I can't get a grip on some of these teams. Like, I just can't.
Like the Timberwolves, they're at the top of the Western Conference, right?
And the Magic, like the Orlando Magic,
13-5.
What? The West is like weird to me right now, though, because
in what way?
Phoenix is only 11-7, just lost tonight. Houston 8-7, Golden State 8-10, the Pelicans 10-9. Like, all these teams are really good, dude. Oklahoma City 11-6. They're I don't know. NBA is gonna be interesting this year. I don't know who's gonna win it.
I think it's a lot of the like these young teams that have been around for a little bit, and like played for a couple years together. They're starting to click a little bit, like the Timberwolves it blows my mind seeing them at the top of the Western Conference. I cannot believe that's the thing.
Orlando's on an 8-game winning streak. Holy dude. So what's nuts about them to me is they're 8-2 in the Eastern Conference. Boston's 13-3. Like, the East is kind of more stacked in my opinion than the West. But then the West, I don't know.
I think
when healthy, still Denver's probably the best team.
You think so?
It's them or Boston
now. I think the top. Like I'm not necessarily considering the Magic a top 3 team in the East just yet. I know they're second in the East, but like the 3 teams in the East to me are the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers, which we've talked about. Those 3 teams are better than like 4 through 6 in the Western Conference. But I think the top 3 teams in the Western Conference, well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the only team I can see that's better than those 3 teams right now is the Nuggets, to be honest.
I think realistically, Minnesota will falter a little bit. I
agree.
Simmer out. Dallas might stay top 6. Oklahoma City, we'll see. They're like the Grizz kind of to me. Like, they're gonna come out really hot in the regular season and get to the playoffs and play a vet team and get beat in like 5 or 6 games.
I can 1000% see that as well.
Sacramento, they're solid. I'm not sold on Houston, not sold on New Orleans. I think the Clippers will figure it out. But that's it, dude, because I don't see really Memphis, even with Ja coming back, I don't see them making a late push. I guess you never know.
3-13, I mean, that's tough. I think the Grizzlies, I think the Grizzlies got to get some things figured out. The ones that I'm interested to see, the Mavericks, regardless of, I don't think they're gonna have a complete collapse like they did last year and not make the playoffs. But regardless of where they are in the playoff picture, I think just and maybe I'm wrong on this, but they were so bad defensively early on in those early games. Maybe they've gotten better. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I think that's where it's going to pick up to them or catch up to them in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be able to maintain.
So we've played about 17 games, almost 20 games. So far, who's your MVP of the league?
My heart tells me Steph.
Oof.
I want to say Steph, man.
Okay. I got one for you, but go ahead. What's your mind tell you?
Dude, I don't know. I think Jokic again. I think he's just going to put up the most consistent numbers all year long. I think he's going to get that MVP again.
Let me ask you something. Does this validate MVP? Is this MVP worthy? 31.4, 7 rebounds a game, 5.5 assists per game, while shooting 53% from the field, 52% from three, and 89% from the free throw line.
That Devin Booker?
No, his teammate Kevin Durant. He's having his best
KD.
season. KD's having one of his best seasons of his career, bro. Quietly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's hard to argue with.
Kevin Durant right now, to me, is playing the best basketball. Yeah, Joel Embiid's 49% from the field and 31% from three while averaging 32. To me, it's KD. Like, dude, 50, 90. If he does 50, 50, 90, oh my God.
Has that ever been done, do you think?
No. I don't think 50% from the field's ever happened
from the 3-point line
in league history. There's like with a
50%
minimum
from the field
from a minimum number of shot attempts, because you got to think they're attempting they attempt a lot of threes now. He attempts 4.5 threes a game and is making 2.3. So he keeps this up, like, and I like it because, bro, he's become the guy in Phoenix because he's played 15 games this year. He's played all their games essentially.
He's been their most steady guy, other than has Booker played all those games?
No, he's been out.
Thought I saw Booker sat out for a couple.
Book gave the Warriors 32 and then sat for 4 because of his toe, which blew my mind.
Hey man, I have toe issues too, so I relate.
Steph's averaging 29.7, 48% from the field, 44% from three, 94% from the free throw line. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but 4 turnovers a game. 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Yeah, dude. He turns. The thing about Steph right now is he's been very careless with the basketball, like killer turnovers.
That's been the Warriors thing that the Warriors have been kind of bad at for a long time now. They're so turnover prone. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
Just the style. They're just so motion. See, we tried to cut down on it too at Western, but you know how it is from just watching it. Motion offense requires a lot of like reads and passes, and just there's a lot of ball movement. It's not just ball handling, where ball handling is such a skill where people can. That was a big time 3 where people can just protect the ball and whatnot and keep it away from the defender. But passing, there's more movement and there's more chances to throw someone just not being on the right read. You know, someone may be trying to backdoor and you're thinking they're popping and you just throw it out of bounds. So
that's exactly. Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
To me, it's just the style of play.
That's literally exactly. It's exactly what I was gonna say. Is when you're playing a style that isn't predicated off of 1 or 2 guys being your primary ball handlers and everybody else is just getting their shots off of what they create, you're gonna have less turnovers. Mm-hmm. But when it's that ball's popping around, like you said, you're gonna have a guy or 2 guys and a cutter that's not on the same page, and like you said, you just kind of airmail one out of bounds or whatever it is. So I think that's a little bit of it. But I also think at the same time, the Warriors, again, for years now, have had those stretches. I remember watching finals against LeBron where they would be so careless and they would be almost giving the game away to the Cavs or to who they're playing. And it's like it's kind of like they were playing with their food a little bit, especially when they were so good. Yeah.
They do that quite a bit. This is this is kind of nuts to me now that I'm just looking at it. There's only 5 players in the league averaging 30 plus. But there are 37 players in the league averaging 20 plus. The league, it's kind of easy to. It's not easy to score, but if you can score, you can get buckets in the NBA.
Like Franz Wagner's averaging 20 points per game.
Tyrese Maxey's averaging 26.6. He's hooping this year, dude.
On that note, I think Tyrese Maxey is going to get most improved player.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I did not expect Jalen Brunson to be the type of NBA player he is. And I understand it's like the Villanova way and all that stuff, but like I didn't expect this. I didn't expect 24 points per game, like leader, best player of the Knicks, leader. Same with, dude, Mikal Bridges is the same way to me. Like he's just as good.
That's one too. I think with Jalen Brunson, his game has evolved a lot in like his the way they utilize him to make plays all over the floor. He's not just kind of like spot up shooting, and he's really gotten to a point where he's the focal point of the offense. And I don't think that obviously didn't happen overnight, but like this year he's really taken that to the next level, I feel like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. There's a lot of guys in the, I guess, to be honest with you, the league might be in some good hands.
You think so?
I think it might be. It's just we're just so used to seeing. We're old heads now, bro. So all our guys are old and gone.
Oh, we are, bro. That's what's crazy.
We gotta really enjoy these next 3 to 5 years of the NBA. Because by that point, all the guys we grew up watching, like early 2000s, like KDs and all them, they're
see you
retired, done, or not the same. You know what I mean? I'd be interested to see how long KD goes, because he's, after coming off an Achilles, he's been actually really good.
He's arguably had his 2 best seasons the past 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, even in
like
Brooklyn,
they were talking about how I can't remember who it was. I think it was on JJ Redick's podcast, but they were talking about how just insanely efficient his last year was for him, and it seems like he's just upping that up a notch this year.
Had his foot been half a shoe size smaller, he's an NBA champion in my opinion. They beat beat Arizona.
I think so too.
Or Phoenix. They beat Phoenix because Kyrie would have been healthy with the ankle. They beat Phoenix in 5 games because KD was balling that dude. He had 50 and like 15. Oh my!
He's sick, man. He's a sick individual.
I need to go to those games real quick. Teams: Brooklyn Nets. That was the first year after COVID. So COVID was 19, 20, 20. This one.
It would have been 21, 22.
Really? Right? No, here it is. Yeah, Milwaukee. Durant, 49, 17, and 10. What?
Just outlandish.
In Game 7, he had 48 and was half a foot too short. God damn. That sucked. I was pulling for him in that one. Giannis had 40
that would have been
in that
cool
game,
to see that. That would
Giannis
have
had
been cool
40.
to see Brooklyn going at it with Phoenix. Let's talk some RMAC here, and then let's get out of here.
All right. What are we talking? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Metro State. That's who I want to talk about.
They're really good.
They are. I've watched a couple of their games this year already. Unfortunately, haven't been able to watch a handful of teams. But the couple games I've watched of them is impressive the way they play, man. They're that team that is going to execute what the game plan is, from what I can tell. And they're so well taught in how to execute it and exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Like, you could tell they don't break down a lot. They don't have super costly mistakes, and they're so fun to watch. Have you watched any of their games?
I haven't, no, but just judging by the scores and seeing those highlights, like that just tells me that even in close games they don't break down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and I think that's another thing. They're getting tested early on, and they're finding ways to win those games, but they're also winning some games by by healthy margins. So I think they're just going to be rolling into RMAC play, and I think maybe they won't surprise some people now because they're number 8 in the country, but I think they really came out of the woodworks for this non-conference season.
All right. BH plays Regis. That's on the road. They're gonna have to figure it out here soon. It's not gonna happen overnight, but I think they will. They have the pieces. It's just a matter of figure out where they can all fit together. Metro hosts.
I think it's what we talked about with BH. It's not to say Joel Scott was their whole program, because they obviously have coach obviously has a great program going up there. But when you they had that identity with him being their kind of focal point for 4 years. It isn't just as easy to snap your fingers and refigure out kind of what your identity is after you lose a player like that.
Facts.
So I think that's part of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you are frozen. There you go.
I am
back. Not anymore. People gotta understand though, real quick. I'm about to pull this up. They lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on a Final Four team, back-to-back Final Four team. 5 players. That's huge. That's huge.
There were big-time contributors too.
All minute players. All minute guys. Like Riker, big minutes. Sindhu, huge minutes. Sava, big minutes when needed. Joel, they lost 6 players because Adam's not on this. So, and PJ, all these dudes went D1, and Matt stayed. So that's really the one kid from the team that played a lot of minutes. John played here and sparing minutes, but those 2 are really it. Jayden, when he comes back, will be another guy, but until then, it's new. It's brand new.
Yeah, I think they'll be just fine. They'll get it figured out.
Yeah, I'm coaching on Friday. I'm about to tune in though. I'll be able to tune into some of these games. I'm gonna be watching, man, because I'm really gonna be watching Western this year too. I wanna shoot. We've interviewed so many people now that I'm invested in a lot of these teams.
I know, that's how I'm feeling too. Sometimes I feel bad that I miss games because we had a dude on the podcast and I want to watch him play, but then I'm conflicted sometimes.
Shatter and CSUP play at 7:30. Mesa, mine's are at 7:30. Everyone else is at 7. I can make that happen. I can make a couple. I can make a lot of these happen.
So let's look at standings real quick and just kind of talk about some surprises, some things that we maybe expected, and some, maybe everything in between. I think the one for me, we've mentioned them already, is Metro. Not that I didn't expect them to be solid, but
I didn't
to
expect this.
to skyrocket to the top of the RMAC, I was not expecting that. So that's one for me. What's one for you?
I ain't gonna lie, Pueblo being 4-2 kind of shocks me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it doesn't shock me, but it's like, okay, because that's a new roster.
Yeah.
BH being 2-4 kind of is a surpriser to me. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected 4-2.
Yeah, I think they've dropped a couple that they definitely shouldn't have. But yeah, that one got me as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, did Western get a big win last weekend or the weekend before?
Yes, they beat Texas A&M University Kingsville by 1.
Kingsville, and then they beat Tyler their first game.
They beat 2 Lone Star schools, so that's huge. That's good for them.
The other thing I've noticed with Western is they're not playing an easy non-conference schedule by any means.
They lost. They went to Nebraska Kearney and lost by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're going to be tough this year, man. I think there's a new swagger in the gym, new confidence about them. Give a team new life, and it's different.
To come out 2-4, which it is what it is, but it was a neutral court game in Canyon, Texas, a road game at West Texas A&M, same trip, 2 home games. And then, 2 home games, and then 2 more road games. So 4 of their 6 non-conference games were on the road, and they won. I guess the neutral court game they won, but that's good to test yourself. I feel like in that non-conference and have good showings. Like it's not like they were getting blown out. I know a couple of those games were tough losses, but in the other ones they were close games.
And technically they're only 2-3 because that last game was an exhibition.
Oh, Utah Valley, yeah.
Regis is 3-2, 3-game win streak. I don't know. It's just hard to. Colorado Christian's 3-2. It's. I don't know. It'll be interesting this year. I think now that conference is starting, we'll be able to. I think in 2 weeks we'll really be able to kind of know who's who and what's what in the conference.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Adams State got a nice dub the other day. They beat. Who was it?
They beat Western New Mexico and Permian Basin, both in Salt Lake.
Yeah. I thought I saw somewhere that they beat Anchorage, but this is saying they lost both games.
Yeah. No, that was the women's team.
Oh, women's. That was my fault.
Which, that Coach Mario, I cannot think of his last name, has turned that program around. Complete 180. So
is he the guy that wears the no socks with the dress shoes?
Yeah, he's kind of a little buff guy.
Yeah, man. I always noticed him. I was always like, man, he's.
I love watching him.
He's going no socks with the dress shoes. I respect it.
Let me take a time out on that one real quick. I like watching him coach.
Yeah, man. Pause that.
Yo, did you see? I should have sent it to you the other day. This one I sent to Clem. I'm gonna send it to you after this. And is what it is. Pause. Oh my god, dude, Mace was laughing so hard he had to call for timeout. He's like, I need a timeout.
Those clips, I could watch. I feel like they could make a long compilation of just of that podcast and them just cracking up laughing like the entire time.
Oh, Mace,
because they'll do it like twice an episode, bro. They'll like just start dying laughing and like get so off topic. It's hilarious.
You got to look up their guest pause. Their guest pause compilations and videos. That one's funny, dude. They catch some good, like they caught Paul Pierce, Dane Willard on a couple.
Got hurt.
Oh no! Don't say that. I'm right behind you. I'm behind. Oh no!
Down.
That's his ankle.
Yeah, he's holding it. Man,
that's
down
second
14.
Ankle injury, dude. That's the second ankle injury I've seen tonight.
All right, Bushel, let's wrap this up, dude.
Yeah, this one, it's over with.
I'm gonna let this happen real quick. Ha! Yeah,
that's so wild,
YouTube
dude.
People.
See, I was trying to do it.
You must have to update your software, bro.
Apparently, I ain't a cool guy. But you know where we are. Break it down.
You know what time it is.
I don't give.
Yeah, you don't give enough juice, man. You don't give enough juice to the fade out. Kitchen Hook Podcast, episode 36. Like I said, we supposed to have a guest this week, but we didn't, so it was just us. Good to have you back.
Yep, absolutely great episode, Hills. Hope you guys enjoy this one. God, dude,
Peace.
you and